My name's Matthew, I'm 19, and last month I did $62,899.15 of revenue with my Amazon private label business. I'm an ex-welder and now a full-time Amazon enthusiast. If you want to know my profit and what my first profitable product was, watch the video all the way through. And I'm not selling you a course, and I'm not here to brag. I'm just here to show you the journey. So enjoy. Here's the story in 30 seconds or less. I started selling stuff from Target and Walmart back in 2019, never made much money. In 2022, I started my job as a full-time welder and put every single dime of that into the same business to try to scale it. Got a new job, making 3 times as much at a different job site. Started private label and put every single dime I made from my job into that. First 10 products failed, lost 40 grand. Next one worked, and then started scaling from there, and then quit my job back in July of this year, 2024. And now for a breakdown of the biggest of the losses that culminated up to $40,000. I lost $14,000 with soap dispensers. The reasons for that was because I ordered far too many. I was not able to get a single profitable sale, and all of the inventory I had in Amazon, I had to have liquidated because I could not sell, for a total loss of 14 grand. Shoelaces. You think, how did you lose 20 grand on shoelaces? It's simple. I send 25,000 of them to Amazon, far more than the market could bear. I then try selling them, couldn't get a single profitable sale, and ended up paying over $2,000 a month just to store them there. And then finally, after a few months, I was able to liquidate them for the small price of 20 cents a unit. Do the math. Next up, we lost $3,000 in mints. This listing would have actually been very much profitable if I did not have problems with inventory. The problem with mints, or this particular kind, they expire. So guess what? It's a headache to keep them in stock. But if I did not have that problem, I actually would be selling them to this day because it was a very good listing. Next up is $1,000 in magnets. Now, the reason for these is not what you might expect. These are slider magnets, one that would go on your dishwasher so that you can know if the dishes in them are clean or dirty. Now, the problem with this was they have a design on them, and I just used the design that my supplier offered me. Guess what? It was copywritten and not by them, so you can guess how they got it. But what happened was when it arrived at Amazon, it was instantly copyright struck, taken down, and I had to remove all of the inventory. Very painful experience. Then a few grand in other losses that aren't really worth mentioning. 200 here, 300 there on a bunch of smaller, cheaper listings. And now you may be wondering, what was that product that worked the first time? It was this. A welding clear lens. It's just a piece that goes on either side of a welding lens inside of a welding hood to protect it from your weld, sparks, grinding, all of that. This isn't some fancy product. This isn't some grand idea. The only reason I thought of this was because I actually used them every day at work. And I thought, maybe I'll look into it. I launched my first product in August of 2023. And since then, I have sold just over $100,000 worth of these, profiting a touch under 50K. You don't need some grand new idea. You just need to start, and preferably start with something you know. Don't be like me and fail with your first 10 because you don't know anything about them. Start with something you know, scale from there. Shoot for the small, easy wins first. Shoot for the jackpots later. Now, 62 grand sounds nice and all, but guess what? Not all of that is profit. I actually pay a lot of money to Amazon for their miscellaneous fees, advertising, and a bunch of other things. And it shows because my first biggest expense is actually Amazon fees. I paid over 13.5 grand to Amazon just in their miscellaneous fees. And that includes things like the referral fee, which is a 15% rip that they take no matter what, and their fulfillment fee, which is just what they charge to ship my products. Our second biggest one is cost of goods, because guess what? I was not able to steal my products. I had to pay for them, and they weren't cheap. I paid over $12,500 for the products that I sold last month. Next up is the second scariest expense for people who haven't sold on Amazon yet. They think it's returns and refunds. For me, I only paid around $1,350 to Amazon for refunds. Now, that's because my average is a 2.5% return rate. The average for Amazon overall is 5%. So it could have been higher, but even if it was, it wouldn't be bad. Next up is the scariest for all private label sellers, which is advertising. I personally paid around $6,400 in ads last month, and that includes things like Amazon ads and Google ads. Now understand that this number can change a lot based off how good you are at ads and what niche you're in. Back when I first started, I was paying almost 20% of my revenue to ads, and now I'm at 10%. My products have barely changed. It's just the same niche, and I've gotten better at it. Next up, I pay about $440 a month in subscriptions, and that's for things like Inventory Lab, Helium, and my bookkeeper. And then last but not least, I paid about $80 in Shopify fees, which is just their credit card processing. And then after accounting for legal fees and then other miscellaneous things, that leads us to our profit. For the month of August 2024, my profit was $26,569.81. Now, disclaimer, that is me excluding things like courses and masterminds that I paid for. With those included, the numbers around 23,000. Now take this the way I mean it. I think almost all of what got me here was luck. I'm not making this channel to try to teach you anything. I'm just here to try to show you my journey. I launched over 10 products before my first one worked. And I lost $40,000 before I saw my first dollar of profit. I didn't know what I was doing. In fact, I didn't even know why my first product worked. I have since done research and learned why it's worked, and that's how I've launched more products. By no means did my success in this start because of my skill. It was only stupidity and perseverance and a job that I could throw all the money away from. I was making 120 grand a year as a welder, and I put every single dime from my paycheck into this business. This is a nice number and all, but I still am probably in the hole. But yeah, that's all. And be sure to subscribe, because over the next year, I'm gonna be launching a ton of new products, and I'm gonna be making a video for every single one of them. I'm gonna tell you the profit, the advertising, the listing, and every single number behind it, as well as the first 3 months of sales. First video is going to be these, and I turn on the ads within the next 7 days. So stay tuned for that video. I hope you enjoyed. Bye.